Hi everyone, this is the tutorial for Next to You. My name's Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. Okay, so this was a request from one of my Patreons. More about that later, but let's get stuck straight in with the chords. Now, the start of the song, there's this really quiet build-up of a G major chord. And then it leads into a verse which kind of has a C major at the beginning of it. Now, those chords, G major, start off with a 3 on the E string, 2 on the A string, 0, 0, 0, and a 3 on the top string. Now, for that introduction, you're going to go back and forth very lightly. And it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You're going to play that for a bar and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Before we go to a C major chord, which starts off the verse. Now, when I'm playing this back and forth pattern, which we're going to see through the verse and through most of the song, I'm not necessarily playing all of the notes of the chords like this. Not always, but through this introduction and first verse, I'm focusing on the lower pitch strings. So I'm not necessarily hitting the higher strings. Same with the C major chord, so I'm purposely trying to ignore the higher strings here. The C major chord is a 3 on the A string, 2 on the D, an open G, 1 on the B, and an open E string. And that C chord kind of technically is at the end of the introduction, but also starts off the verse. Is kind of a bit of a mix and match. But yeah, over on Patreon, what we'll have is the chord chart for this, as well as the chords in the lyrics matched up, so you can get everything wrote out professionally, and you can see what chords go with what words. So yeah, definitely check that out. Link in the description for it. More about that later though. Now, the first verse starts off with that C chord, quickly moving to a bar and a half of E minor, which E minor is an open E, 2, 2 on the A and D strings, and 0 on the remaining strings. So that C chord leads us in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, C. And then we're going back to that C chord. So it kind of starts into the E minor and then ends the E minor chord. So C, kind of like a sandwich of C major chords. Don't know why I'm referencing sandwiches, but yeah, C major into E minor and then back to C. We then go to G major, and then C major. So just to play through the verse once, without me yapping on, talking about sandwiches, here it is. And if you do that 4 times in a row, you've got yourself the first verse. We then get to the chorus, which is this shape here, which is just like a C major chord, but up 1, 2 frets, starting from fret 5 on the A string. It makes it a version of a D major chord. And what we're going to do is play 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're then going to play those chords a second time round for the chorus, but then on the third time round, what we do is play the D shape, C shape, G, E minor, A minor, and D major. Now there was one new chord there that we haven't talked about, which is A minor, which is an open A string, 2, 2 on the D and G, 1 on the E, and an open E string. That's the A minor chord. So yeah, I'm going to play through that full first chorus so you can see how it all fits together. Now you'll have noticed that I played a regular D major at the end of the chorus, unlike that version there. So a normal D major chord is an open D string, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, and 2 on the high E string. Then after that, we have a post-chorus, which changes things yet again. So it is worth mentioning, over on Patreon, you will have the full set of chords, both as a chord structure as well as chords and lyrics matched up. And When you get that, it only costs the cost of a coffee, and you get access to well over 360 other songs as well. So yeah, and you also get access to asking me for song requests. So this was requested by a guy called David, who has actually requested a couple of songs, and I'm more than happy for my patrons to do so, and I'll get around to making videos all for songs that they want to play. So yeah, for the cost of the coffee, you get access to all of that, which is a pretty good deal in my opinion. Yeah, and I don't talk as much about sandwiches over on Patreon. But yeah, let's talk about the post-chorus now, which is a G major chord. And we're going to be looping that round for 8 bars, but on that 8th bar, we jump early to C major, because that will link us back into the second verse, where we play the same thing as we did in the first verse. Now later on, there is a bridge section, and the bridge section is taking lots of chords that we've already played and kind of jumbling them up a little bit, which is C major, E minor, D major, G and D. Notice how I'm playing this version of D major and not that one. We play those chords round twice, and it's just worth mentioning that the G and D share a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just play those chords once more, again without me talking, so you can hear how it comes together. Play that twice. The bridge then continues with C major, G, D, E minor to D, C, G. So yeah, that is a lot of chords going on there. Yeah, very full with, yeah, just different orders of a bunch of chords. So yeah, it might be worth checking out that link for Patreon. Now looking over to my notes, we have a third verse, thankfully the same as the other verses that we've seen. We then have a bridge section, which is the same as the other bridge section that we've tried. So thankfully, tons of the repetition there. There is then an outro, which has an E minor, C, and G. That G is twice as long as the other chords, and if we play those 3 chords 4 times in a row, you've got yourself to the end of the song. So there we go, that is a lot of chords to get through this really, really nice song. I'm so glad that my patron recommended making a video for this song, because I absolutely adore this one. This is brilliant. It's the first time I've really heard it, so yeah, thank you very much for that. And if you are interested in becoming a patron and getting access to over 350 other songs, including access to requests, then head on over to the link in the description below, and for the price of a coffee, you get access to so many different things. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next video.